Yes. We have, 60 forms.
More popular.
Alright, well, maybe some for doing extension or final reports, maybe. Oh, so they're available to answer questions. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Is everybody ready? I guess we'll do a roll call. Call to order, roll call. Okay,
Elborn here.
John Gamelke here.
David Mihatis here.
George Jones here.
John Hughes here.
Sarah Salazar here.
Eric Cabrera called out, he had to open, of course, he owns the donut mill and his opener called in and did not show up. And Jerry Good has a doctor's appointment this morning, which he is doing that. And we have Josh Myers, our DDA attorney, with us today as well. So can we do the Pledge of Allegiance? I don't need to be the flag of the United States of America,
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I've reached out to Josh, I reached out to Eric Cabrera, and he'll come in later and sign these after I sign them, so that we can still get them signed today and get them approved. Okay. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Anybody have anything? No? Has anybody got a chance to look at the minutes? And I'm assuming you
Move.
did.
Move to approve the minutes of September 2nd, 2025.
I'll second.
We need to take a vote on that, yes?
Born, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
You, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Approved. Are there any public comments? Anybody have anything this morning? No? It's going quickly so far. It's gonna slow down, I'm sure. Is there any unfinished business? Anybody have anything that they want to bring up that unfinished business? No? All right. New business. You're up, Mark, please, for Tava.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, board. Let me give you a construction update on the building and what's going on there. As you can see, we're moving along pretty fast now. There's a lot of effort going on to get us completely dried in so that we can just focus on the interior going forward. So far, at this stage, its interior concrete floors are complete. Banquet trifold doors are installed. The fire suppression system is about 75% installed. Electric's 50%, plumbing 50%, HVAC 70%. Gas line is installed and they'll start curb and gutter next week. And then you can also see a lot of the loop road that's going on that's under construction on the exterior where the roads are going to be. So that's all starting. And we're trying to get that, as you know, we got to get that done before it gets too cold. So there's a lot of energy going into that. So it's moving. Have you guys gone by and taken a look and seen? I know, John, I know you see it across the street all the time.
No, it looks really nice. I've seen it from all the angles, taking pictures. It's really exciting.
If any of you ever want to go see it, get a tour, just let Derek or I know and we'll take you through there.
I'm assuming that you are dried in, otherwise you wouldn't be doing the electrical and things like that. Like you're
Yeah.
dry.
Do you know if we're completely dried in? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
we're trying to use as many local people as we can for this project, so we awarded Upworks to do the cabling and the internet and the cameras and point of sale, all that work. So that's Zach Babiar's, and he'll start tomorrow. No, today. He starts today on that.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then, Chair, I know we got TIF to talk about. Is that something you want to do later or
This-
now or?
I think this would be the appropriate time.
Okay,
Yeah, it's on the agenda for
Great.
next.
Yeah.
And as part of the packet, the documents that we received for this application they were all included into the packet. I believe there might be, do you have any other additional slides or info? Okay.
no, just this morning.
So in talking to, if I may, in talking to Josh, obviously, we're not gonna make a decision on that today. We
Okay.
just received it, the board just received it.
Okay.
So we're gonna take it into consideration. Everybody's gonna look at it
Okay,
and we're gonna have it, I believe we're talking about having a discussion about it at our next meeting.
okay.
So this gives everybody time to look at it. I just want to ask quickly, did everybody get the email with the packet included?
I did not.
You did not?
My email is empty,
Okay,
so we'll take a look at that.
okay, so we want to make sure that you get that because you haven't either? Okay. So
What's going on?
that's two people that we need to make sure to get on the list, because it's an awful lot to print out. That's a short part. And if I need to, I could print that part for you too, if you want me to. Or I'm sure that we could get that, at least that part printed, so I can do that too as well. But let's make sure they get on the, who do I see about getting them on the, make sure they get on the email list?
I think after I sent it out, I may have received your email address, but if I don't have your email address, then I can't send it to you. But I did post
Okay.
it and we
Yep.
got it on there. So.
Yep.
But
So,
so see me afterwards. Let me know what email you want me to send it to.
should we mention the ask or any more details about that, Josh, or should we just have people look at it and continue on?
Sorry, throw that at me.
Should I say any more about the TIF
Oh, no,
ask?
we can start on the presentation.
Sure. What we've submitted to you is our presentation. There's a narrative in there. There's the scope of work. There's the bids that we had to get to proceed with the work. This is already all started. So we're already under construction on all these things. And it'd probably be helpful if you guys have it in your packet to look at this sheet, which shows the scope of work.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot that we're having to do. It's all public infrastructure. It's approaching $2 million in scope of work. So what we are asking for is the DDA to consider helping us with this. When we started this process 3-4 years ago, it was just going to be the little Taba pad, and then we were going to use the public parking on Center Street. Now it's expanded into all this other work, and that's why we're coming to you for help on this. So this, I guess the scope of work, this in blue, is accurate and precise. There's another Google Earth image in there that shows you kind of where it's placed, and it's all the loop road. It's some of the Bergstrom Park improvements, or the decel lane for Bergstrom Park. It's that decel lane along Highway 24 from Center to Park, and then the work at Park. So it's just expanded into this thing that we're being asked to complete, which we are doing. We're not trying to dodge this or anything. We're already full steam ahead, but we are asking humbly for help in the form of TIF.
I have one question. Did
Please.
did nobody foresee a decel lane at all in the project scope when you started this project?
No, it wasn't a part of it, and it actually should have been done when Woodland Hardware went in. What was that, 10 years ago? And it wasn't. So here it is. Here's another thing that we are being asked to complete. It's a good thing. We are all for it, but it's landing on us to do the work.
Do you know where it is with CDOT on the Park Street? Because I know there's been some people that are not happy with that. And do we know what their answer is yet?
We're not in the loop on that. We're aware of that going on. I just don't know how far along it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to that a little bit, meeting with Aaron and staff, and so there is some discussion going on. CDOT's approved the plan set as is with the left lane improvements of Park Street. I know the city and the businesses around the area don't want to see that left turn removed. And so we're working on a plan right now to have our traffic engineer analyze it in accordance with the improvements proposed at Bergstrom Park and moving that entrance. So we would have a second left into the whole DDA parcel, that whole parcel, and see how that affects. Our traffic engineer isn't done with that yet. But when I get that information, then I'll work with Aaron and we'll probably have another conversation with CDOT. I don't know that it's gonna change things a whole lot, but CDOT, I don't know, have you, Aaron, gone to CDOT and told them that you're looking at punching through to West Street?
We've sent them the Bergstrom study to show them that it was adopted by council and that it has support from the community. So we've already sent that to CDOT. There's no guarantee that they're going to allow us to delay or make any changes, but we're starting that process and hopefully we'll be able to do something.
Yeah, and I think the last piece you're missing is just how opening up the additional left turn and also the punch through to West Street and pushing people to that signal affect the westbound left turn movement stacking. And don't know that it's enough to make a difference. CDOT is kind of of one mind that their idea is to limit interaction with Highway 24 and just make it as much of a throughput alley as they can. And so, I mean, I'm supporting Aaron as much as I can on getting that information to try to push back on that.
And Chair, we've got time pressure on
Yeah.
us because we want to get our CO and open in March.
Yeah.
So we have to proceed with all this. Otherwise it'll hold up. It's a condition of our CO, so we have to get it done.
Get it. How long is that supposed, when are you supposed to hear something? Is it holding it up now? Then?
I think
It's not holding it up because their plans are approved. What we're asking for is an exemption from one part of the plan that they have to build. So it's not holding them up at all.
Okay.
I really, we're probably looking in the range of 3 weeks where, that determination has to be made before.
All right.
I'm happy to answer any
Do you
questions
have any
that you
questions?
might.
Anybody have any questions
have.
for Mark while he's up here?
Okay,
Thank you, Mark.
thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
You
it.
guys are doing a great job. It's really nice to see. It really is.
It's coming
really
together.
Nice to see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just so the board's aware, our plan is to give you all time to go ahead and look over their proposal and all the documents they provided. You can ask us questions, so that way we can actually have those prepared for you at the next meeting. We'll probably hold an executive session in order for us to do any kind of negotiation discussions. And then we would bring it to an actual vote of the board to decide on how you would want to move forward as an entity. Okay?
And is that for next month's meeting, Josh? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
So executive session prior to next month's meeting or at that next month's meeting.
So either or, it really depend on scheduling and everyone's ability to schedule and attend a special meeting. So we would have to give notice of a special meeting, actually hold the executive session during that special meeting if we were to do it before the regular meeting next month. And the alternative, it is to hold the executive session at the regular meeting next month.
And I just want to give everybody an opportunity to learn the project and ask questions. So I know
Exactly.
too much about it. So, I mean, if you guys want to get together and just ask questions.
But don't forget about OML.
You can't do
Okay,
that. You
means-
can.
No, in a meeting, not
Okay, in a
in
meeting.
a
Gotcha.
formal meeting
Yeah.
is what I.
Right. It's like, wait a
Not
minute.
just
can't-
telling
Wait,
everybody off.
son, I'm I'm hearing the lawsuits already.
No,
That would hurt me.
That's why I was asking about the meeting prior to our regularly scheduled meeting, if you guys think you want that time to understand it.
Well, could we not discuss that in the executive session? Would that, or is that, or you're talking
So
about?
it's in just a
So
time.
then 3 meetings or 2 meetings? You're talk-
Two meetings,
2 extra meetings
no,
other than.
one extra meeting.
I'll go with whatever people think.
Yeah.
Whatever, Josh, what do you think
It
would
would
be the
really come
best
down
route?
to what's available when the room's available, and I obviously don't have access to that.
Tuesday mornings, the room is available most weeks. So if you wanted to do a separate, like a special meeting where we do this executive session, or maybe the Monday before, I don't know, that before this meeting would be a good one. At 6 a.m., I don't know.
I just want the board to feel prepared when they make that decision.
So I can look at my schedule and then let you know, Chair, and then we can basically see what everyone's available
Okay,
and to get a notice special meeting. At which we can actually discuss in the public anything that needs to be discussed or wants to be discussed. We would have the executive session specifically for negotiation purposes, or if there's any legal questions that you have that I would provide as an actual attorney-client privilege communication. But outside of that, we would do most discussion in the public though.
so it doesn't sound like we really, it sounds like we could just do the executive session and then come back out to the dais and then ask any questions that we had. Couldn't we do it that way? Or do we really need?
We would
that?
definitely want to avoid the concept of rubber stamping. So we would definitely want to have our discussion out in the open.
Right,
Based on any information that you.
which
might
would be
receive that's
here out in the
confidential.
open. That's what I meant
Correct.
after the,
Yes, Chair.
that would be 2 meetings instead of 3 then, right? Still be here. It's up to you guys, whatever you think's best, Josh. I'm gonna lean on you for what, I'm gonna take your counsel on this.
Okay, I mean, basically being able to get from all of the board members what their schedules are. So that way we can see what would be available and when. You know, if someone's out of town or if multiple people are not going to be available, we wouldn't want to necessarily hold a meeting on those days. It would be best if everyone was to be able to look at the materials that were provided to them today and then have their questions ready. And you can even forward those questions to me directly, so I can have them prepared to answer you. And it would be I think that we could probably do it during the November meeting itself. It would be a little bit longer of a meeting, so really that's kind of the only issue. It would be a longer meeting if we do everything on one day. Or do y'all want to break it up and have one day where we're here for maybe an hour or so, and then have the decision made at the actual regular meeting?
Right.
Yeah.
How would you like to?
Two different ones would be better, I think.
Could we try to do the Monday before the next Tuesday meeting? Is there, I see some head shaking yes. Al?
That'll work, yeah.
What's that?
So that'd be November 3rd.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you gonna be in town?
Boy, that's, yeah. Should be.
Definitely like you to be there, like your input. George is our most frequent traveler. Definitely won't check with his schedule. Work requires a lot of travel.
Yeah, no, I should be fine.
Aaron, is it open that Monday morning?
It is, would it be the same time? Would you want to do 7:30?
Yeah,
Then yes, the room's available.
does that sound good with everybody? Would you attend on Zoom then, Josh?
I would do Zoom for meeting and.
Oh, and then be
see-
here on Tuesday?
Yeah, or maybe I would just come up Monday morning and then work the rest of the day here and be here Tuesday morning. So I would definitely not do a hear it back, hear it back.
Okay. All right, thank you, everybody.
We look at getting that noticed, posted. (7:30) on November 3rd.
Yes.
So that'll be a special meeting with an executive session, right? That's how we notice it.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, and I'll provide you the actual notice stuff. I just want to make sure that we're,
So we would
Wanna
do
get
the
those.
executive session that same day, or we do the executive session on Tuesday?
we could do it either one, but probably Monday.
Okay, all right. Thank you. That was pretty easy.
It didn't seem like.
So, can we move on from that then? We're all clear with that? Okay. So now we're on to some the grant program. We have some project deadline extension requests. And I am going to let Josh take over from here, if you will, please.
Yes, Chair, happy to. As you can see for agenda item 7B I, there are 5 extension requests. I've basically made those to where they would be approved to be extended out to November 25th, which is the 7 days or so before your December meeting. And mainly because we want to have the projects done, so that way you can actually do the almost a tip reimbursements. You can do the grant project awards within the year of 2025. So we're not looking at appropriating or doing anything in 2026. Out of these 5, 2 of them are with Council Liaison, Jones. And so you would recuse yourself from voting on those, obviously. For the other ones, you should really be looking at their packet materials. If you have questions regarding any of the other 3, then let us know. We would want to pull that aside if you have any questions on those that are outstanding, in order for you to do a motion to basically table their request to get additional information if needed. Does it make sense? So we're following, okay. So let's go ahead and just start with number 6, which is the model citizen coffee. And if anyone has any questions on that one, have you all been able to review that? Any
I
questions?
reviewed them all, and I only had questions on one, and that's not one of them. They're all working on it, and they're already, every one of these has already done some part of what we're talking about. So it's
Okay.
going really well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Anybody else have any input or?
Okay, what's the one that you had the question on?
My free water, I don't know what they were doing originally, and they didn't clarify why they needed the extension at all. It was very vague.
Okay, on that one, for the application, it says, our plan would be to remove the berm at the south side of the parking lot and level to provide additional parking on that side of the lot. We'll be removing the existing berm and timbers and create additional parking stalls. This will help to relieve some burden of street parking, creating a safer environment for customers. We'll be adding to the retaining wall on the west end to help deter erosion and flooding. We're currently working with adjacent neighbor to the south to clean up discrepancies between the 2 properties, creating a more user-friendly environment. This will provide a more open effect for customers to park and a better street appeal. As you can see, the cost is quite substantial. This grant will go a long way in making this project possible. That's verbatim for what their application was.
Have they submitted any pictures at all that show that any work's done? Have they done anything yet?
Everything that they submitted for the request was put into the packet, and I can go look at that, but I can't tell you right off the top of my head.
So when you say that you extended it to November, is that the cutoff? If one of these could not meet that, then would they just not be eligible for the grant program for the reimbursement? Is that what that would look like?
I would have to talk with city staff on how they would want to handle that.
Okay.
As it would be rolling over into the next year
Yeah,
from a
I
budgeting standpoint.
don't think I definitely saw that as happening,
Yeah.
but.
Excuse me, is this for Jimmy John's? Are we on Jimmy
No,
John's?
this one's My Water.
My water, okay, I was just checking
free
my
water.
email and Jimmy John's did send a final report in at 7:37 this morning.
Oh, okay. We're on the extension request.
Okay,
And
perfect.
it's the My Free Water. So if someone is here from My Free Water, or if someone online is with My Free Water, they might be able to.
Do you have some input on that?
No, I put Josh, Jimmy Johnson is on the extension, so she's saying they did submit their
They're fine.
final, so they can be removed from that extension request.
I wouldn't remove them just because we haven't been able to look at the final, so it doesn't hurt anything.
Oh, I got
We
it.
can always come to the next one, yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone here with My Free Water? Anita, was there anyone online with My Free Water? Okay, if y'all want to, you can always do the motion to basically table their request and ask for additional information if there's anything more that you want from them to actually explain to you what's happening or.
I think from my end, my only thought is I definitely would want their project done by the extension deadline. And I would not want to extend it beyond that. Cause I do think that was a long enough length of time, it would seem to me, to get that work done.
Mhm.
That's, I mean, unless anybody else has any input on that.
Removing a berm, it just seems like it's probably a city ordinance or some sort of zoning. I don't think it's, I don't know that it's gonna help with flooding to remove what, maybe if they put a bioswale, but I think that it's probably not as simple as, I think they're trying to bulldoze and asphalt it over. So it's probably gonna take years or working with the city or something like this. So I don't think it's just a project at all. And I don't know that, I don't think it could get done, or it should get done in a month or so. So that's just my concern.
Is it appropriate to, go ahead, speak me out.
As we move forward with them, we're gonna be running out of time because of weather. Stuff's gonna start to freeze up soon. And they're also starting to push the financial year, to fund it. So maybe this should be rolled over to a future time.
It wouldn't be rolled over, but they could always
Re-request.
apply
They
They
could
could
again
always
next year.
reapply
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, technically, the program itself lays out the information that's supposed to be provided to you for an extension. It's not on you to do the work for them to get that extension to you. The information that has been provided is they're requesting the extension of time to complete the project due to unforeseen delays and scheduling conflicts. But you're correct, there hasn't been any information provided saying what they've done or how much more, they need to do. So it's really do you want to do a motion to give them an extension in time to get it done? If they do, then they can do a final report. If they don't, then it's basically we'll come back next year.
Okay.
One quick thing, I did get an email from Gina this morning, saying they were still working with contractors to get that project completed by the end of the month.
So sounds like they might be done by the end of the month. And she did request October 31st. I put in November 25th for consistency.
No, I thought that was great, because that definitely gives people a cushion too. I noticed that. I thought that was really good. Gives them more, and nobody asked for that length of time, so I thought
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, it was just for that
Yep.
consistency. And if anyone gets one done beforehand, they file their final report this month.
Yeah.
It would come before you at the November meeting. Yeah, it's not like it has to wait until the December.
So can we vote for all these in one? Or do we have to vote for them
We
individually?
can't vote for all of them in one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So you can definitely do a motion to approve the extension for number 6, Model Citizen Coffee. Number 25, Jimmy John's. Number 29, My Free Water. To extend the deadline for them to complete their project to November 25th, 2025. If y'all want to make that motion, and then all of you would be able to vote on that.
Bourne will make that motion.
And then you would go to the vote.
Gotta be
Mihatis,
Second, sorry, second, thanks.
Gamelke, yes.
Bourne, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
You, I'll recuse myself. I haven't read any of the information. Is that okay?
It's just an extension for
Oh.
them.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
you don't have to recuse because you haven't read. You should read and you should know that, but based on what we've talked about today.
Yeah.
Salazar, yes.
And then we would go to number 26, Zeb's Outfitter, number 27, Colorado Gear Lab LLC. And there'd be a motion to extend for those. If anyone wants to make that.
You make that.
Bourne will make that motion.
Gamelke, yes.
Yep, we need a second.
Mihatis, second.
No.
Vote, Bourne, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Hugh, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, everybody. Now we have final reports. We actually have some that have been done. And there are 2 on here where I will have to recuse myself, but I will again defer to you, please, Josh.
Of course, happy to. So now we are on 7B II, which is the final reports for the grant programs that have projects, excuse me, that have completed. So we'll do these one by one because you should be looking at the information that's provided, and some of them have different amounts that are being approved. So number 2 is Poor Decisions, Nanabelt Liquor. They have provided a final report packet. That report was reviewed by our office and city staff. Our findings have been included into the information that's in your packet. Is there any discussion or questions on that information?
I have a question now. Being that that's my daughter's business, do I need to abstain?
Yes,
I will.
thank you for bringing that forward.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
None.
I don't have any.
I did get to look at all there's a lot of good work that went on. A lot of work done there. Looks really nice.
So on page 3 or 4, there's going to be a motion on the actual report that was provided. Should be called the agenda information sheet. Our agenda item summary. And there's gonna be a motion to approve, if y'all want to do that motion.
Mihatis moves to approve the final report for grant application Poor Decisions LLC and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $5,000 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Second.
And then Chair, you'll go to vote.
Bourne, abstain.
Gamelke, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
You, yes.
Salazar, yes.
And then there's number 7 for Hunt and Homestead LLC. Are there any questions or concerns with the final report for this application?
I don't know.
None.
And just to point out that this one is a different amount than 5,000. They were a little bit less. Their application was for $4,647.85. And that's what they were originally awarded.
And it's 246007. Is that the final amount that they're asking for now?
No, their final report shows that they had more than the amount that was awarded. So you can award up to $4,647.85 as disbursement for the grant amount. And there's a motion that's included in your motion options.
I move to approve the final report of grant application Hunt and Homestead LLC and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $4,647.85 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Second.
Bourne, yes.
Milky, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Fear, yes.
Salazar, yes.
And then next we have application number 14 with Woodland Hardware. Again, the final packet and materials have been put together and we're part of the packet. The agenda item summary will have motion options and information available. If there's any discussion or questions regarding this application final report. And if none, then you can go to the motion.
Move to approve, I move to approve the final report of grant application Woodland Hardware and Rental. And for the city to issue payment in the amount of $5,000 as disbursement of the award grant for recoverable costs.
Mihatis, second.
Vote.
Bourne, yes.
Milky, yes.
Jones, oh, sorry.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Fear, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Okay, next is number 16, which is Java House.
I have to recuse myself.
Correct, Chair. If there are any questions regarding the final report materials that were provided.
No questions.
And you can move to a motion.
I move to approve the final report of grant application Java House and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $5,000 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Second.
And then we'll go to a vote.
Bourne, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Fear, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Okay, and now we have application 17, Miss Priss. Again, the information is in the final packet. If there's any questions. If there are none, then you can move to a motion.
I have to recuse from that one too.
No questions?
I will move to approve the final report of grant recipient Miss Priss and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $2,886.67 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Bourne seconds.
And go to a vote.
Bourne, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Fear, yes.
Salazar, yes.
And then our last one is final report for application 28, which is 30G2YS LLC. And again, the final report has been provided as part of your packet. If there are any questions, if there are none, then you can move to a motion.
I move to approve the final report of grant application 30G2YS LLC and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $5,000 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Second.
Bourne, yes.
Milky, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Fear, yes.
Salazar, yes.
All right, that is all of our grant program.
Thank you, everybody.
So, yeah, and just to be clear, Josh, so there's only 5 applicants left? Or have we received finals from everybody, I guess, except for the 5? Do you know?
So I don't, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I can take a look and let you know.
Okay.
I don't have internet. It's not working for some odd reason, so
Oh.
I can't get into my files. But once I do that, I can let you know.
Okay, and our total applications, how many applicants did we receive?
33, and I think we, 33.
There were 33.
And three over
Oh,
our,
yeah,
there was three
okay.
over, and I think one was denied because it was too late, so I
Yeah.
believe it was 32 was the final.
Okay,
And I do know, like, there have been, I know of one that the landlord would never sign off on the grant, so that one fell through. That would be Eric Cabrera's on the donut mill, so they never did anything. So there'll be a few, I don't know of any others that I've heard.
okay,
So,
I think there's 2 that we didn't get grant agreements signed.
okay,
okay.
We're probably. Can I
Right
speak
now, our
on
budget.
one of them, or?
sure.
So the second one is probably my landlord. And I spoke with him last night and sent him his documents he requested, and he says it's in the mail.
Okay.
And I turned in my final report yesterday.
Okay, so I'll be looking at all of the final reports that basically came in from Thursday, Friday last week through our next meeting in order to put them on the next meeting one.
And as soon as this document comes in, who do I send it to?
Anita,
Got it.
Kimberly, yeah, and they look at everything and put together and then send it to me.
Thank you.
You guys see that cow hand got painted?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
saw that.
Oh, it's nice.
It's good.
Is that it on that?
I think you have
Will be.
now 7C, which is the budget discussion.
And it would be Aaron. And again, the budget proposal is in the packet, but I know some of you didn't get to see it, so
Get it.
it's pulled up right there.
All right, there we go. Okay, so at our last meeting, we discussed adding several items to the DDA budget for next year. We discussed $250,000 for beautification. We have been working internally, looking at what the cost will be for greenhouse and labor, flowers, all of the materials. We do think it will come in under that amount for this next year. So I think this is a sufficient amount based on the estimates we've been receiving. That will have to go out for an RFP once we have the budget approved, but it looks like the initial estimates that'll cover it. $150,000 for the DDA micro grants, and then we added $25,000 in the professional services line, which is $3,200 for a $25,000 match for the pedestrian study. So looking at that, we're anticipating that 2025, I don't think any of these numbers changed from the last time, but we're anticipating the numbers for 25 ending with a fund balance of $1,789,000. We're looking at total funds available with 1.1 million in revenue at $2,894,000. And then we're looking at expenditures plus the debt service that we have of $1,042,000, which should leave a fund balance of $1,852,000. We are at the next meeting intending to come in and do a presentation on the Bergstrom Park master plan that was approved by council. We do intend next year to come back and look for a supplemental. I'm thinking we'll probably phase that out over like a 3-year reimbursement is what I'm hoping for. But so we'll look to do that at the next meeting, and then we don't have initial cost yet. So that's why we're going to wait till next year to bring a supplemental when we have real cost. Any questions?
I have two particular items that I would like to reflect on. The first item is the micro grant program. I look at that as a very, very positive thing that has occurred in our community this year. I could reflect very favorably upon perhaps doubling it for next year. And instead of a $5,000 limit, we look at $10,000, with the idea that maybe we'll bring in some additional projects that are much larger, that would benefit our town a great deal. So I would reflect on that particular line item to go from 150 to 300,000. And then perhaps even start the activity on seeking those plans and projects earlier this year, right after the first of the year, we get it started, would be a good thing to do. The other item that I have a great deal of, I guess you call it squishiness, is the greenhouse. And it comes from two things that have been my experiences. One, I spent 2 years taking care of a greenhouse much earlier. There's a great deal of expense that goes into it. It was in a much warmer climate than here. And even there, they had to maintain a much higher temperature. It has to, and it requires really daily attention in order to maintain the plants that are in there. You have to worry about humidity inside. You've got to control it. When the sun's out, you got to make sure that it gets venting. And then there's also the impact. A lot of bugs like living in that greenhouse because it's warm and it's moist and they reproduce very, very well. There was every 2 weeks to 3 weeks that we'd have to fumigate the entire greenhouse in order to keep the insects under control. And I understand why we're looking at the greenhouse is to help reduce the cost of the plants that we want to put out around the town. It may actually come back, to bite us because of the required attention from personnel and expenses. And additionally, the other part is going to be the cost of the greenhouse facility itself. Earlier, I was the owner of a metal fabrication business down Colorado Springs. And we did some bidding on octagonal aluminum frame, acrylic panel greenhouses. We were not successful in coming up with the projects because the cost of manufacturing just the metals was far greater than what they wanted to expend. So until we get a good cost on a greenhouse, we might not want to proceed down that track for quite a while, because to come up with a acrylic aluminum frame greenhouse is going to be expensive. In relief of that, I would propose that we look at finding the appropriate greenhouse that grows the kind of plants that we want, and that maybe the DDA contract with that greenhouse for the amount of plants that we want to have. And we can then either distribute them or have the appropriate businesses buy them from the DDA to put in and around their house. So one, I question the greenhouse as not being a cost-effective way of doing it. And two, I really like that grant program and I want to expand it because it has produced things very favorable for our town. Yeah. That's it.
So does anybody else have any comments on the greenhouse or?
Well, a lot of ideas, and I think you're being so realistic, Al. A couple ideas, of course, anything that has to do with plants, I love, and I'd love to see it be what it could be. Maybe we look into the future and we talk about maybe joining forces with the Butterfly Pavilion, or we talk about xeriscaping. I know that Colorado Springs Utilities has a xeriscaping facility, so there's no dome involved, but there are a lot of flowers that are for the place. There are year-long things like that. So maybe this is about partnership, long-term partnership, not for next year. Or we or we scrap it. But I either way, we can make it work. But I think you're right. It has to be really well thought out, and it's probably going to be 1 or 2 or 3 years out. And if we say we really want the plants and the flowers, absolutely, we can make it happen. It just might not be the way we thought it would be. And if you need any ideas, I'm here. Can definitely find a way. So.
But we haven't gone into this blindly, Al. We have a young couple that lives in Divide. They have their own landscaping and flower company. They worked for a nursery in Colorado Springs for 20 years. They just recently quit and went out on their own. And they are the young couple that grew the plants that are hanging in front of Java House this year. And we have met with the city, and I'm gonna lean on you.
Yeah, can I jump in?
Please do.
So we have gone and gotten several quotes for greenhouses. So we do have a pretty good cost estimate. We believe that it's going to cost about 125,000 to build the greenhouse and also pour the pad, get the permits. So 125,000 is what we're looking at for the greenhouse itself. That would, of course, have to go out for an RFP to have that designed and built. And then we have talked to the couple that the chair is speaking about. We've also looked at some other providers that could possibly do all of the maintenance for the greenhouse, do the growth of the plants. We obviously can't start from buds. We're going to have to get some larger plants to start with in order to make this effective for next year. So that's why that cost is a little bit more. That's why we're looking at the 250 amount as opposed to it only being about 150, because we would have to pay extra to start off a little bit ahead of where we are. So we do feel pretty confident with the timeline and the dollar amount to be able to make this successful for next year. But again, when we go out for RFP, we'll see what actually comes back. But these are quotes that we've been receiving and the timeline that we've been promised.
Doing a cost analysis would be, very, very, beneficial on that project.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been spending a few months already looking at this to put the diligence in to make sure that we actually can execute it. But to your point, I mean, we could look to contract with another greenhouse. We've tried looking at the company that provides for Alma. We've also talked to a couple of companies that do Breckenridge's. They don't have a lot of capacity. I don't know that they could execute the vision that the DDA has spoken about. So that's why we've been leaning more towards trying to do it internally.
No matter what, it's a great investment. It's beautiful. It's good. It's healthy. I would like to say that and to Al's point, if it's $125,000, you double it, which is smart. But I think maybe quadrupling it up in this climate, having a glass dome would probably need, and this is my own designs I've done in my own practice doing architecture. Doubling the glass, one on top of each other, is one of the only ways to get that airspace in this climate to keep a control, but then ventilation, which probably means some sort of mechanical system. So add the cost there. I think to be really realistic, it's like $500,000. And I know it doesn't seem like that, but on the scale that we want and for how it's going to function through winter and through summer, because it can get really hot and the bugs. I think we should be really realistic, but I think it's money well spent, but it's not going to be easy. And it's not going to be financially easy, but it's possible, but the cost is going to be large.
Yeah. Yeah, the maintenance on it is going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Pure and simple. Yeah.
It'll be beautiful, but it'll be great. So
Oh, yeah.
So, Al, it sounds like what you're looking for is some kind of cost comparison of of going the greenhouse route, what that upkeep and growth cost would be versus, you know, ongoing purchasing of plants.
And perhaps utilizing the purchasing power of the city to contract for a given number of plants, we'll say per year.
Mhm.
And that way we could probably reduce the cost substantially. Rather than just going out and buying 3, 4, or 5 pots. We contract for, and I'm just gonna pick a number now, I don't know what the number would be, but contrast that to buying and working with the greenhouse, we want 30 or we want 35. That's gonna be a better deal than if we're just buying 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
And we don't need additional personnel to take care of in the greenhouse, yeah.
Aaron, if I might, do we have an idea of what have we explored the maintenance of the facility and personnel and all that?
We have, so this dollar amount that we have in here partnered with the city's funding we have in our beautification. It would include most of the maintenance for the growth and then also to take care of the flowers once they were in the baskets. Some of this funding also includes the baskets themselves because we need to, what we have now is not going to work. So they're going to need to buy new baskets for those. And then it also includes like some weeding and some pest control services that go along with it. So that it does, we believe this number is pretty close to what it would cost for this first year.
Mhm.
Now, of course, there's going to be an annual cost going forward every year once we have this program, because those services are baked into this 250 number. Right, the greenhouse itself is only 125, so we're talking about almost over $100,000 of just service for that. And that would be ongoing. So to your point, it's going to be much more expensive than 250 when we look at a 5-year. We're talking about quite a bit.
And have we thought about water? You know, there's a lot of discussion about a lack of water. But, you know, even just looking at the TAVA plan, we have a lot of drainage that comes past TAVA here, and it's just free water. When you do a LEED green building, we like to give points out for water. We like to see a property collect 100% of the water that falls on it throughout the year. So if there's, you know, maybe picking a location where we reduce any sort of water strain and we collect all the water, just anything to keep costs down or to help the city at the same time, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone type of thing. So just some ideas. Don't kill any birds.
Risk factor.
Greywater.
A risk
Talk about
factor
the
that we'll
greywater.
have to be aware of, you know, if we own a greenhouse. If in the event a person does not monitor that greenhouse and it gets too hot in there, all the plants are gone, or at least severely impacted. Where that risk probably is mitigated with somebody else.
You know, let's focus on the goal of we want to beautify and bring flowers to Woodland Park.
Yeah.
Let's not forget the goal here, because we know that TAVA House is stunning. People were taking pictures. It's all over the internet. It's now the new standard for Woodland Park. So let's not let the greenhouse get in the way of. Did I say TAVA House?
No.
TAVA House? So let's just keep the goal in mind and not try to make it work in the way we want to. Let's, you know, keep that goal in
Yeah.
mind. Get the flowers here.
That's an important goal. I do
Okay.
want to achieve it. Yeah.
Yes.
One
Yeah.
way or the other.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't think, yeah, I'm not on the 5-year plan to make this happen.
No.
No, it's not real. It's just not, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of interest from the city, a lot of interest from people. You hear people talking, they love the route, the way that we are going with beautifying the town. And I really feel like it's a good thing for us, for all the businesses in Woodland Park as a whole. I don't think this is a bad idea. I guess I'm looking more for like, how can we make this happen rather than like all of like this, that, and like all the negative stuff. I'd like to see the positive stuff about this.
Yeah, how can we make it?
How can we make it
cost
happen?
effective?
And we've done a lot of legwork here. We've been working on this for a couple of months. We have a young couple that is dedicated to servicing this greenhouse. They know what they're doing. They've walked the city. We've walked the city more than one time, looking around. We've met with Rob, we've met with Aaron. It's not just like we're just coming up here asking this blindly. We really feel like we can make this happen. And they're willing to take care of the greenhouse. They're willing to teach city staff how to take care of the plants better. I really think it's gonna be good for the community. That's just that's my comment on it. And if you guys decide you don't wanna do it, I'm gonna buy plants anyway for Java House. I just wanna see the whole town look like it. I don't want it just to be one building. George and Lynn buy flowers for their buildings. There's a few others, but we want to offer it to the whole city of Woodland Park. We wanna, even Woodland Park's gonna take advantage of it. We want flowers around Memorial Park. We want flowers in the parking lots where people get out and walk. We want them to get out of their cars and see how pretty it is, not like, look at those weeds. They're 3 foot tall in that flower bed. We don't want that. You know, we want it to look really stunning. And I'm not trying to compare ourselves. I don't like it when people say this town, I do see what other towns are doing and I do look, but we are unique in the fact that we have Highway 24 running right between the middle of town. So I want to make Woodland Park look beautiful for Woodland Park, not to be like Breckenridge or Vale or Telluride. I'm not putting those places down. They are beautiful and they have their own aesthetics. We have something different to deal with. And I feel like I feel like we have a lot to do to make our town look a little bit more attractive. That's my pitch, and you
On
guys
the-
do with it what you'd like.
On the other side of where I've been talking, you look at the Broadmoor and they have for many, many years, having tremendous displays of flowers, but they have a big greenhouse also, you know, that helps to supplement that. But I get the impression that it's not all out of that one greenhouse area. So can it be done? Yes, the Broadmoor has a whole lot more money than we do. So we look for the best possible bang for the buck. But so, yes, there are other places that use that particular attempt. Yeah.
You know, and there's, I think really, John, it's big. It's nearly bringing an industry, which to this town, it's to this city. I think it's great, but I don't want to think that this is a small project, a small DDA project.
That's why we're partnering with the city. That's why the city is on board.
It's big. I think it's important. It could be very important to the city.
It's ambitious and
It's
big, I
ambitious.
get it.
Yes.
And to your sense about the water, where we're thinking about locating the greenhouse, and I don't know if I'm supposed to divulge that information yet, but we will have access to gray water, and it's already been, and we've already talked to the growers, and they love the idea of having the gray water because it's much more nutrient rich. So we've already discussed those things. Again,
No, it's not
it's not,
coming out of
we're not
nowhere.
coming out of just nowhere with this. We've done some research. Is it gonna be some work? Yes. Do we feel like we can make it happen? Yes. So, and I feel like we have a chance to do it, and why not?
And also, I just want to jump in real quick and just remind everyone that what we're really looking at right now is doing a $250,000 budget appropriation for beautification for next year. How you want to continue considering what that, encapsulates and means, which could be the greenhouse, which could be purchasing flowers. I mean, it's definitely something we can look at next year as well as we move into different meetings. But for right now, our line item is 250,000, the amount that you'd want to make or put in for beautification, or do you want it to be higher? And then how you use those funds for beautification would be actual agenda items that you would discuss at future meetings as well. So just keeping that in mind. So it's not today we have to decide yes greenhouse or no greenhouse. Just clarify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The expenditures for the greenhouse would come sometime in the future. Yeah,
Yeah, you
The
would decide how
approval,
you're using it.
The approval.
Yeah.
yeah.
It would be under the 250,000, we would hope. It would be in that, what we're trying to set aside.
So this is not approving a greenhouse necessarily. We're doing beautification as a
Yes.
generic term.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. That's what I'm seeing it as the.
Absolutely. If the greenhouse didn't work out, then we could use that money to purchase flowers, as you had discussed.
Sure, sure. Now, the other is, what do we feel or how do we feel about enhancing the scope of the grant program?
To, the alleyways or? what
No,
you
you're
thinking?
talking about the amount.
Oh,
the
the
amount,
amount, oh, the
yeah.
scope of money, okay.
Yeah. Instead of 150,000, do we want to do 300,000? Or something less? But increase the scope?
I mean, I agree with the success of the program and,
Yeah.
and I think $10,000 is a reasonable amount to pursue in that. I just think then we probably have to have a little more insight into the projects and in discussion about the projects.
Sure.
Understanding it could, then you're getting into the scope that might be projects that require some level of city approval and the timeframes get longer. And so as long as we prepare for that, I think it's a reasonable request.
I don't know, I think the 5,000 really spurred. It spurred more than $5,000, right? So it just kind of pushed people along. 10,000. Yeah, it seems a lot more oversight would be required.
That's what I was.
It
wondering.
just
Sure.
seems. Yeah, it seems a little more, and it's at that level that I think. Now we're gonna, I mean, and we're already extending some of these projects and we're trying to get them done, before the end of the year. Now you talk about $10,000 and I think, oh, this is gonna be our full-time job.
Yeah.
Is managing these things, and we're gonna have to start early, to your point. All right, so.
Yeah, and I picked
do agree with
10,000
this.
only just because that's a number,
Mhm.
that has some relevance, but I guess the goal is to enhance the concept of doing this stuff to beautify and improve our town. And putting some of the tax monies that we are allocated back into the district, one way or another.
Yeah.
So we win both ways,
I like the theme of spurring things along.
Yeah.
Right, but not like doing them, right,
Right.
Yeah. So let's, I don't know, I'm of the mindset, I think that we stay where we are.
Okay,
Just because it tends to push projects, but
Sure.
not be the project,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
We don't need to be the project supervisor.
That's what it
Yeah.
feels like it would be. It'd take a lot more oversight on our end.
Sure, it might, yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
feels that way.
I want our business community to work forward, in
Right.
developing our town, yeah. So
And
whatever,
I think,
whatever
maybe
will do it,
starting earlier is a good idea.
Yeah.
And getting more of the communication out. We saw more applications than we thought we were gonna get. Obviously, and there were some that came in late, and so I think if you spur this, let's do the program, but let's really market the program, right? And that could be working with Main
Sure.
Street
Yeah,
and,
I mentioned it at the Main Street meeting yesterday that they could use that as a tool.
yep,
Letting the businesses know that that's out there for them next year.
right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
the
it
other-
could be much easier now that we've been through the program, understand, have set up the program.
Yeah.
We can lengthen timelines for people.
And this doesn't have to do with the budget, but I'd also like to maybe propose when the time is appropriate that we might let businesses that did not benefit from it this time have first rights next time when we do the grant program, possibly.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
just wanted to discuss that, talk about it.
Whatever's gonna increase that, that thought process, the pride in their property.
Yeah.
Pride in our town.
I spent, way more than the grants for
Right.
this year, and we did a lot of small projects. And if there was extra money in there, we would still spend more because we invest in our business. But if the city is, if we're giving money back to the community, we would do larger projects. So like a $7,500, and we would probably, do 12, 14,000. And so I think the projects, if you're gonna paint your building, it's gonna cost more than $5,000.
Yeah.
So how many people didn't do that because they couldn't afford the balance? But if we had more money to give them, then the balance would be easier to make. Paving parking lots, things like that, that will help.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
I support it.
So we're asking, the whole point of this conversation is to ask for more in the budget. Is that what we're doing here?
We're just discussing it, yeah, to see.
Yeah.
But it has to do with the budget, right?
Yes.
The budget amount that we're asking.
Do we run the risk of becoming a nanny government, for our business with this project? If we enlarge it? And I don't know the answer to that. How do people react?
It just feels, I'm kind of with George, that $5,000 amount seemed to spur a lot of interest, create a lot of innovation. And smaller projects can create that pop. What I don't want us to get into is managing a bunch of paving projects, because now we've hit a threshold that's what people are looking for.
Yeah. Very true.
Stricter guidelines, on how the money can be spent.
Right, but then we're administrating all
Yeah.
of that, right?
We don't
become
want to
that-
be the, yeah,
The arbiter of what's a valid project.
Yeah.
we were trying to avoid that.
Anyway, those are thoughts for discussion.
But for now, what do people think?
Yeah. Because even if we decide to spend more on the grant program, we can do a supplemental budget next year at some time to take care of that. So we're not held to this completely. There is an escape route.
There's, an off ramp. So at this point, we're talking, and Aaron, I'm sorry, can we put the budget thing back up? But we're talking 250 for beautification, 150 for
Grant.
micro grant program.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate to put you back on the spot there, but.
Yeah.
We blow that up a little bit there.
It's an eye test.
No, it's not.
That was the right one, I thought.
It's the right one. Wrong screen.
Oh.
Right down.
I got two things over them. Here we go. Sorry.
Yeah. So we're, so micro grant,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Any way we look at it, we want to do well for our district.
Yeah.
I feel like we are,
Yep. We want to do well.
or at least given the opportunity to.
Okay, and then so total expenditures is about just under 700,000, okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to bump that number to 200 to give some flexibility from a budgeting standpoint, and then see where we are when we actually develop the program.
I mean, that's
That'll
fair.
work, yeah.
That's fair. I still like the idea of 5,000 per. But that maybe opens up to more applications too. And if we start doing, you know, first timers have priority,
I like that.
then, you know, at least we expand the pool. I'd love to have more participation than less and higher dollar amounts, right?
Mhm.
You know, and bigger
Definitely.
projects, to be fair, Al, bigger projects are intimidating, you know,
Sure.
and so they're, yeah, I like that idea, actually. I like the idea of expanding the pool, but keeping the award, you know,
The
is where
same.
it is, yeah, so that we get more participation. How many, do we know how many actual businesses are in the DDA, the number?
We all look at Aaron.
I don't know the
No.
exact
Yeah,
number off the top of my
okay.
head.
And I know
We
there-
did look it up when we started this and the number was higher than I originally
Right.
realized, but
Yeah.
I don't remember the number, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fair, because I remember hearing it too, and I just don't recall. Okay,
The range of these, is it only businesses that get this?
No,
no,
Or can houses that are in the district also apply?
weirdly enough, yes.
Okay,
we
so I want to make sure that that is true.
Yeah.
We did mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to help remove blight, you know,
Mhm.
True, that's fair.
yeah. So we may advertise it accordingly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Market it as such or promote it as such. And I do, to John's point, yesterday we met with Main Street. And I do think this could be, you know, a great program for Main Street to take up and do the promotional aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Cause you know, the DDA is the muscle, right? And Main Street can now come alongside and be the voice, if you will.
okay.
Yes, you can quote me on that, that's. I just made that up. I was like,
Sounds good. Yeah. Just made it up.
Yeah, I'm certainly agreeable, very comfortable with it, adding additional monies to it, yeah.
To make
Because it's a good program.
200,000.
Mhm.
You're good with that?
Like, sure.
Well,
Taxpayer money going back to the community.
Right.
so.
Okay,
Is that something that's doable, Aaron?
We'll update this. We'll be finalizing the budget this week and hopefully having it to council next week, so that'll be in the final version then.
Okay.
so are we ready for a motion to approve the budget as amended? Born
believe so,
so
yeah.
moves?
Yes.
Second one.
Okay,
Vote it out.
Born, yes.
Gamelka, yes.
Miharis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Hugh, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Got that part done.
I don't believe I have anything more to add to it. Thank you very much, though. Thanks for at least considering the greenhouse. And Josh and I did talk, and if for some reason it doesn't move as quickly as we would like on the greenhouse, we do have the option to spend some of the monies for flower and beautification around town this year or this next year to help it look as good as we.
And I think just for comparison's sake, that's the number we need to understand what we're looking at on a long-term basis, cost savings.
Sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Eric, our treasurer, is not here. He had to work today. We do have in the packet a bill from Marcus. From,
Chair,
yes,
sorry, it was at the very bottom, but I think we jumped over the agenda item, public comment for matters not on the agenda. Just in case there is anyone of
Okay.
the public that had comments for the DDA board on anything
you.
that's not on there.
Thank you.
Yes,
Does anybody have anything? Kelly?
anything online?
Nobody online?
All right, sorry, I just want to make sure that was there.
No, thank you. We do have a bill for our lawyer fees in the amount of $2,652. Although Eric is not here, he will come in and sign this after I do so that we can get that turned in. So
Bourne moves to approve and pay that amount to MGM Fern.
yes.
And I think there might have been two,
Taylor Mountain. Is
Oh.
there any discussion on
Yeah.
Taylor Mountain?
but I think there was two invoices
Two
from our
invoices.
office. One was for August of 2025, which would be dated September 4th. And then one was for September of 2025, which is dated October 2nd.
And what was the other one? Because I don't have that one. I didn't print that one out. My fault.
Pulling it up. The one for August is, and they are in the packet.
Yeah.
It was a subtotal of $7,482.25 with a discount of $1,000, so a balance total of $6,482.25. That's in the packet,
Good.
the itemized.
And I would have, adjust my motion to include both of those invoices and pay the appropriate amount.
Second.
Bourne, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Mihatis, yes?
Jones, yes.
Hugh, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Thank you. These are all the fees that it costs to get all this microgrant stuff. It's a lot more involved.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And
It's a lot.
we haven't gotten a bill from the city yet. They put a lot of time in it too. Maybe more than.
We're trying to leave some money in there.
Huh?
And then also, Jerry, you're gonna have the TIF reimbursement for Taylor Mountain Enterprises LLC.
I did see that. Can you tell us what that one is without the
Happy to, Chair.
treasurer being here?
It was included in the packet as well. And so Taylor Mountain Enterprises LLC provided their receipts for payment of their 2024 taxes that they paid in 2025. Aaron took a look at it and ran the calculations and the numbers. We checked it against the agreement amounts, and the total reimbursement amount is $12,890.73. And the numbers, the actual calculations that were run is also part of the packet.
Dan Taylor of Taylor Mountain Enterprises did a very, very important extension of development of a troubled lot in town. Did a very nice job. Buried electric lines, put in streets and developed the business. And it has been a very productive thing. So Bourne would move to pay that TIF amount.
I'll second.
Bourne, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Jones, yes.
Hugh, yes.
Salazar, yes.
Board member reports. Anybody have anything that they'd like to bring up?
I would just, I guess. Well, I mean, we've already talked about it, but I'm really excited about the Main Street coming alongside of DDA and the work that we're doing on the DDA side. I think, for the beautification, but also just the enhancement of the downtown area. It's just been fantastic. So I'm really excited about where we're going. So thank you, John.
Oh, it's not me, it's
No, I
it's
know,
all of us.
but
It's
it
a community.
is all of us. And
Look at everybody here that's involved in this. It's not just me, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Yeah. It's been good. I like seeing where it's going.
I do too.
Yeah.
Move to adjourn.
Adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Let's